And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and I'm about to talk about my team limited just a wee bit early. Typically, I'll wait till Friday or even Saturday sometimes to do a limited tips video, but I felt like today kind of warranted a limited tips video because limited is very interesting. Now, the reason I typically wait until Friday or Saturday is just because the Friday or Saturday, but Friday content typically includes at least a couple cards that are in the budget realm that are very helpful for limited. Even if you look at last week where the B set didn't include any high tier cards that were really helpful outside of Andre Karolinko, the budget cards were like Josh Smith, Darius Miles, and Jeff Green were all really, really good for limited. That's facts. Um, so I think we will see some cards in the Ruby tier that come out tomorrow that'll be helpful, but let's touch on everything else. So I recommend highly recommend doing the limited warm-up this week. I cannot recommend it enough, really, because Jakar Sampson is easily one of, if not the best gold card that you can possibly get. And whether or not you play limited, period, like let's say hypothetically speaking, you don't plan on doing limited for the rest of the year at all. Jakar Sampson is still worth grabbing for triple threat offline cheesing, anything involving golds in the future. I think it's worth having this card in your collection. I really do. The game itself isn't that hard, win on pro. The lineup that they throw against you isn't really that crazy either. So I think it's worth doing for sure. I mean, you're getting a gold card with Set Shot 3, which is a pretty good release. Same one Diallo has, which is not terrible. An 81 three-pointer, in addition to an 80 driving dunk, 89 speed, 86 speed with ball. He's so much better than majority of the golds, especially ones that would match up with you in triple threat offline, that I think he's worth grabbing. He's got gold quick first step, clamps, ankle braces, intimidator, interceptor. Wait, does he have interceptor? No, he doesn't. My bad, sorry. Menace, hustler, ball stripper. He only has gold set shooter for shooting badges, but he's still got a money release, so I don't think it's really, that out of the realm of possibility. So you have to use 3 rubies out of the realm of the possibility to say he's probably the best gold card, realistically. So 3 rubies, the rest are gold. So let's take a look at the lineup that I am running. I did the challenge already, so this is the lineup I'm running. Yes, I know PJ Tucker is a very strange player to choose here, but I do like PJ Tucker, even though he's only 6'5" at the power forward. I might change him up to another power forward. So right off the bat, Eric Bledsoe is someone I would highly recommend using. If you don't want to run Eric Bledsoe, you could run my bench point guard, Dennis Smith Jr., if you do have him. Once again, not the end of the world if you don't have him. There's other guys you can use. Eric Snow still really good. He can hold it down. Derek Fisher is honestly not that bad. He's pretty good. He plays good defense. He can dribble. He can attack the rim a little bit. Gold floor general is obviously going to be helpful. Don't sleep on Corey Joseph, too. If you're looking for someone to slot in that I think will be really solid, Corey Joseph is decent. He's got a big player build, too, which I think is helpful. It says he's 6'3", but he looks so much bigger than every other 6'3" dude. Devontae Graham's not bad if you want to run that. I just recommend running one of your rubies as your point guard. I mean, it's going to be helpful to have a facilitator that does that. Even Dante DiVincenzo is not terrible. He's honestly pretty good as well. He plays good defense, no clamps, so he's going to get driven on, but he's a good shooter. Jordan Clarkson's obviously up there as well. There's a lot of pretty good Ruby point guards. Marcus Smart's okay, but he doesn't really have the best ball handling. But if you're looking for more of a defensive stopper, you could do a lot worse. Eric Bledsoe is fire, though. He's probably the most well-rounded point guard out of all of the Ruby guys. He can do a little bit of everything. He booms super hard. He plays defense. He can shoot. I like Eric Bledsoe. Plus, he's got a wide player build, so he kind of gets in the way a lot, which I think is a little bit more important than people kind of understand sometimes. Now, as far as my bench, I'm running Dennis Smith Jr. If you have him, cool. If not, I'll suggest some ulterior options that you can run. I'm running JJ Redick. You already know my boy JJ Redick's coming through with the GOAT himself, Christian Laettner. You know what? You might think I'm trolling with this, which to a certain extent I am, but this is actually a really potent duo. If you're running against another gold squad, Laettner is super solid. You would be surprised how good this card is. In addition to that, I'm running Darvin Ham. I love Darvin Ham, this card. I don't know what's up with Darvin Ham. I'm not entirely sure why I like this card so very much, but I really do. Darvin Ham's fire, dude. I don't know. I'm just green with him, and he booms on everybody. This is my boy. We need a new Darvin Ham card. 90 driving dunk. He's good. Antoine Walker, I'm using just to stretch the floor. There's not very many gold power forwards that can shoot. He's not the greatest card in the world. I'll be the first to admit that. But 79 3-pointer with a pretty decent release. Like, he can handle the ball a little bit. 80 perimeter defense is pretty decent as well. The interior is pretty bad, but that's what Leitner's for. Other guys I'd recommend using, Brian Russell. Like, he can shoot the three. He can play perimeter defense. He does a little bit of everything as well. He's pretty good. Yuda's here for troll purposes. Todd McCullough is here for troll purposes. But I'll be honest, I got to put the real GOAT at center in this lineup, which is my boy Greg Ostertag. Is he really good? Nah, but look at this man. Look at this bumbling man right here. 7'2", straight out of Kansas. Nice flat top. I was gonna say flat top, but that looks like more like a military style buzz cut. Anyways, off the starting lineup, I'm running Ben McLemore. You guys have watched this channel for a long period of time. You know how I feel about Ben McLemore. And honestly, for a gold shooting guard, because I don't have Corey Kispert, because I'm an idiot, this is a very good card. Gold catch and shoot, gold corner, posterizer, green machine, hot zone hunter. You know, he can stroke, he can dunk, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not the greatest defender, but, you know, and when I say that, I mean he's absolutely heinous at defense. But it's fine. And I'm using Jakar Sampson, like I said. Man's got 18 gold badges. Huge player build. He's going to lock down any of the opposing players on defense that I need him to. I'm not going to worry about putting him on the point guard for the most part because Eric Bledsoe is very good defensively as well. So, but he's there for the secondary scorer. And he can stroke. PJ Tucker, like I said, I just like PJ Tucker, so it's not anything crazy. I don't have any like super wild strategies to tell you about that. I'm just a fan of this card. Other guys you could easily use if you're looking for a budget, Chimezie Metu is actually not bad. He's pretty decent to use as well. Austin Crocier, you'd be shocked. He can play pretty solid offense. He's not the worst defender in the world. I'm contemplating running Bol, but he's kind of trash. I'm not a huge fan of this card, but he is also, you know, Bol, so he's 7'2" and can shoot. So that's always helpful. Other big men you can realistically run, the GOAT himself, Mike Muscala. He can step out and stroke. He's got jump shot 4 now. Remember that? That's a pretty sick jump shot. And he can crack it, dude. If you're looking for more of a small forward to run, Poku can hold it down. You could realistically run Poku and Dort if you wanted to, but your center position would be severely lacking. Sadiq Bey is obviously a good one. I'm not LeBron. Franz Wagner if you need offense. RJ Barrett and Landry Fields are still really good. Matisse Thybulle, Jarvis Hayes if you're looking for a defensive stopper. At center, I personally don't believe there's any other option but my boy Wang ZZ. If you want to go run some a little different, you know, you could get away with Bol if you're looking for a defensive stopper. Like Nerlens Noel is not terrible. If you have Joakim Noah, you could run him. Mike Muscala can step out if you're trying to mash it up. Like Taco Fall's not terrible. Obviously, he can get it done. Mo Bamba as well is pretty good. Another dynamic duo you could run would be like Wendell Carter and Kobe White. That one's not terrible. It's not the best duo in the world, but it's more than usable to a certain extent. So I don't think it's awful. Now, there's obviously some reward cards that if you have them, I would recommend using those. That would be Corey Kispert, Joakim Noah. I called him Joakim Noah earlier. I do that sometimes. Just know I know how to pronounce his name. Joe Ingles would be another one. Joe Ingles is pretty good as well. But if you don't have any of those guys, there are options that you could run. Don't be afraid to run dynamic duos. That is what I would say, because dynamic duos will be your salvation if this is the case. Let's look at a couple that I think are very helpful. Like, let's look down in the gold on gold duos. Peja and Brandon Ingram actually isn't terrible. I mean, if you're in a pinch and you're looking to fill out a lineup for relatively cheap, this one's not bad. It's not great. Peja's jump shot is pretty terrible, but Brandon Ingram's good, obviously. Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker is not terrible as well. Paul Pierce just goes up mainly stat-wise, but Antoine Walker gets some actually decent badges. You know, some good stat boost too. This is pretty decent if you're looking for like a small forward, power forward for the cheap. Not terrible. There's the Carmelo Dwight, which honestly, this one's pretty good too. If you're on current gen though, just know Melo's not going to shoot from the corner, so that gold corner specialist doesn't do a whole lot. But Dwight Howard sets effective screens and get boards, and you know, it's not terrible. Ah, man. I would have used Scott Pollard too. Hito and Richard, Keith Van Horn and Marbury. If you have these two cards, this is probably one of the best duos you can run off the bench for sure. Keith Van Horn, now that his jump shot has been changed too, he's going to be absolutely wet. He's got that jump shot for. Marbury is a Derrick Rose clone, so he's going to be able to move and kind of shoot and dunk a little bit. So I think this Marbury can dunk. Can he? Maybe I'm thinking of the actual Sapphire Marbury card. Let me double check on that before I like to check my own work sometimes, you know? Yeah, it looks like he has just a 60 driving dunk. So he's going to be mostly attacking the rim with layups, but 74 3-point shot is not terrible with Derrick Rose base. Plus, he gets like catch and shoot, difficult shots, hot zone, and slippery, which aren't awful. He does have like bronze quick first step. Keith Van Horn, though, getting catch and shoot and corner specialist, set shooter, dead eye sniper, and hot zone hunter with his base 4 release is going to make him significantly better. Something to think about. We're going to look at the prices for some of these guys in a second here. This one's not bad either. Rui and Spencer Dinwiddie, it's not great, but it's not terrible. Marcus Smart and Horford's okay. Marcus Smart turns into like a defensive monster, so like if you're looking for that, it's not the worst thing in the world to use. Gordon Hayward and Gobert is okay. Like I said, you're going to want to run dynamic duos. Eddie Jones, oh man. Chris Middleton, no. Varejao, yeah, Varejao and Barbosa aren't great. Obviously, this is my bread and butter right here. Christian Laettner, JJ Redick. Like, first off, you're getting a big man that can stretch the floor. Silver catch and shoot, silver corner, sniper, green machine, silver clutch. JJ Redick gets a lot better as well. That's one I recommend using. Hornacek, no. I don't think Doc Rivers has one either. That's good. Ooh, I forgot about this one. This one's actually not bad either. Clark Kellogg and Herb Williams. This is not a terrible one if you're looking for a cheap like duo you can throw out there, but those are some solid options. But let's look at some other cards that would be solid cards to use essentially. So right off the bat, if you're looking for a gold big man, that's actually really good. LaMarcus Aldridge. He is expensive. If you have this card, you will be able to sell him for a pretty decent profit. He's got good hot zones, good badge count. He's altogether really, really decent as like a gold big man to use. Aldridge is pretty good. You would be surprised. The other one is going to be obvious. I guarantee this card is through the roof price wise. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. Buddy Hield, yeah. If you have gold Buddy Hield, I promise it's not the end of the world if you don't have him. You do not have to spend 15,000 plus on a gold Buddy Hield to win. Yes, he has bronze limitless, but I swear it's not worth 15,000. It's truly not. If you have this card, though, I highly recommend selling them for 17,000 before people realize you don't need gold Buddy Hield and, don't feel the need to spend that much. Rashawn Holmes would be another one I would think about selling if you have him because he does have that dynamic duo with Buddy Hield, so people will probably use him. Realistically. As far as other gold cards, though, like I really don't think there's anyone that I'm like, yes, you need to use this card. If you have stuff on Marbury, though, make sure to sell them too. You can get 20 Gs. Is someone going to buy it for that price? I can't say for certain, but it's possible. Same with Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. Their prices usually surge a little bit once we get like one of these challenges. So it's probably worth selling them as well. Look, do not overthink this weekend. Everyone's going to be using a garbage gold lineup, so it's not the end of the world if you have to put out some like subpar players. Another card to really look at would be Wang. Wang's probably up at like 7,000. I don't think it's worth selling him for this though. But I mean, if you're already going to be using Mo Bamba or something and you don't really care about Wang, getting 6,000-7,000 for Wang, he'll be back down to 2,000 MT in like a week, so it doesn't really matter. We might even get some overpowered centers tomorrow. I doubt it, but it's possible. I wish I could use Jonathan Isaac. I'm sure everyone feels that way. It is what it is. As far as, Ruby cards, use whoever you're comfortable with. I mean, as you can see from my lineup, like, I don't care, dude. I like PJ Tucker, so I'm going to use PJ Tucker. He's not the most meta card in the world. He's 6'5" and plays power forward. But he's also alongside Wang, who's massive, and yeah, nice. And Jakar Sampson, who's 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan. So I'm not really worried about his rebounding or defensive abilities. Like, also, PJ Tucker is a wonderful defender, and he is Hall of Fame corner specialist. That's my boy. And you know I'm going to be down here catching buckets with JJ Redick and Christian Laettner. Like, you guys already know. I'm going to be streaming, and I'm going to be going hard with those two. So let me know if there's any cards that you think are underrated gold gems down in the comments below, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.